undefeated champ is Curlin.
And we're told now that 8 Bells, the filly, has been injured.
Most awful thing I've ever seen in horse racing just happened.
Zenyatta's gonna come home to score. Undoubtedly now a living legend. A New Mexico bred mare has just done the improbable.
This is as good as it gets, simple as that.
Julian Leparoux will win on a broomstick.
And Big Brown is plummeting.
It's gonna be Raven Mass to win it. Raven Mass and Frankie Dettori have won the Classic.
And here he is, Curlin, under the wire, beyond cigar, and into the records book.
Welcome to a special edition of HRTV's Inside Information. I'm John White. During the next half hour, we'll take a look at some of the most significant moments of 2008, such as record-breaking achievements, the year's biggest unsolved mystery, an undefeated champion, and the tragic death of a rising star in the sport. 2008, a year that certainly exemplified the dramatic highs and lows that racing provides.
Big Brown losing the Belmont, I think, will go down as the biggest mystery in horse racing.
Big Brown was one of those horses, I think, that showed so much earlier on in the year, as a lot of horses and top trios have done before him.
Big Brown bombing home to a convincing win and the run for the roses.
You watch them in the Preakness, they still hadn't got to the bottom of it.
Captain Sarmo looked in the rearview mirror, nobody was there.
It was 21 days of nothing but UPS, 21 days of nothing but Big Brown, IEAH, Dutch Row, DeSormo.
Everybody with their Big Brown t-shirts on, Big Brown hats, Big Brown signs. It was more like being at a college football game than it was being at a Triple Crown race. I mean, everybody was there to see a Triple Crown winner. And there wasn't a single person that I think you were going to talk to and say that Big Brown wasn't going to win that race.
And they're off.
They break out of the starting gate, seeing him, kind of pull himself into the spots that he had been in the Preakness and the Derby, and thinking for sure he was just going to go on with it.
I don't remember ever being as shocked as I was for any race than that. Down the backstretch, Big Brown was off the bridle. He was being niggled at by DeSormo, and you knew he was in trouble, but at the back of your mind, you're saying, well, he's just such a good horse, and he's just better than these horses. Somehow, some way, he's going to pull through.
He starts to pull up midway around the far turn. It was hard. It was hard to believe. It was hard to believe what your eyes were seeing.
Then it just came to the point of, is the horse okay? That's where your thoughts went, not so much in, oh gee, another Triple Crown dash.
It's like, what happened? I mean, something had to have happened.
At 38-1, it is Gatara.
It was just like the air being let out of Belmont Park.
It's hard to gauge what happened, whether it was the weather, bad trip, whether it was the mistraining or quarter crack.
I don't know what happened, but he didn't look good.
There was a bullseye on this horse. Well, let's not kid ourselves. Everybody is looking to beat the Belmont horse that's going to possibly take the Triple Crown.
I was thrilled to find out soon after that he was okay, but still flabbergasted, as everybody else was, that our best chance, arguably, to win a Triple Crown in the last 30 years goes up in smoke once again.
What happened that day, really who knows? A baffling performance, just very perplexing.
Kent DeSormo said Big Brown veered toward Guadalcanal when he saw a man on the track with a blue blazer and khaki slacks. Well, Guadalcanal subsequently stepped on his hind foot, dislodging Big Brown's shoe, and pictures proved it.
But at least he came back and won twice after that, and it shows that the Belmont really, his meltdown was a fluke.
If he couldn't win the Triple Crown, then how good were those that could?
One of the wonderful things about horse racing is, yes, we have the Curlins and yes, we have the Zenyatas, but sometimes stars emerge at the smaller racetracks. And a New Mexican bred mare took the racing world by storm, Pepper's Pride.
And she's run away from the record. Pepper's Pride wins the Sydney Valentini again.
Any trainer will tell you to win 2 races back-to-back with the same horse is very difficult. To piece 3 races, 5 races, 12 races, 17 races together is an absolutely remarkable accomplishment.
And she is scintillating. She's going to keep that 16 race win record and keep it intact.
16 wins in a row, and then to come into that pressure and the national attention that Pepper's Pride got, it's impressive.
Now, I don't care who you're running with. I don't care where you're running. I don't care what you're doing. If you can do the same thing and be successful 17 straight times, whether it's winning a horse race, shooting free throws, or just getting out of bed without falling down, that's pretty good. And finish the year with 19 in a row? Incredible.
Sputnik of North American Thoroughbred Racing, Pepper's Pride keeps on winning. It's perfection.
She's going to go into another dimension.
To consistently keep a horse going for that many races in a row and win that many races in a row is a feat that it will be a while before we see somebody else do that.
This will be number 19, the world record holder of the biggest streak in history.
The 2008 Run for the Roses, the epitome of the highs and lows of racing.
I think if you love horses, when a tragedy like that happens, it literally rips you inside in your stomach.
She was a tremendous, what could have been champion.
It is Big Brown by 5 on the wire. The filly 8 Bells was second.
Seeing Big Brown cross the finish line so far in front of the rest of the field, and then realizing who it was who finished second.
And we're told now that 8 Bells, the filly, has been injured.
I mean, she ran so well. She was the second best horse, the second best 3-year-old in this Kentucky Derby.
She absolutely belonged in the race.
As much as the fans were hurting, nobody was hurting as much as Larry Jones and everybody who surrounded 8 Bells on a daily basis.
It makes you a little sour towards the people that pointed fingers at Larry.
When she fell that day, she ripped a big part of my heart out with her. But I'm so glad that she has found her resting place here in this fabulous garden here at Churchill Downs. And 8 Bells, dear, rest in peace.
I think we have to, as broadcasters, use this tragedy to try harder to educate the public that these are athletes. Injuries are sustained in any form of sport.
The only good coming out of it is that there will be some good coming out of it. An awareness of the horse, less medication, no steroids, things like this, all seem to have been a reaction to the breakdown, and maybe that's good. Maybe in the tragedy, other horses will benefit from it.